On the news, Okojumbo-led Rivers Assembly insists on challenging Court of Appeal ruling. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu launches Presidential Economic Coordination Council to revitalize Nigeria's economy. And Governor Ayedatiwa signs new bill to increase Ondo State judges. Many thanks for joining us on News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Tamilore Akinkolie. The Rivers State House of Assembly, under the leadership of Victor Okojumbo, has announced plans to contest the recent decision of the Court of Appeal regarding the Assembly crisis. The Court of Appeal in Abuja had overturned the expulsion of Martin Amuwele and 24 others from the Rivers State House of Assembly, originally ruled by Rivers State High Court. Speaking during a plenary section on Friday, Speaker Victor Okojumbo expressed disagreement with the Court of Appeal's ruling, saying they strongly believe that the Court of Appeal was mistaken and declaring that the Rivers State High Court lacked jurisdiction to handle the suit. He added that the Assembly have instructed their legal team to appeal the decision to the Supreme Court of Nigeria. In a move to address Nigeria's current economic challenges, President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated the Presidential Economic Coordination Council (PECC). The council, a strategic blend of government officials, top private sector players and consultants, is tasked with devising a roadmap out of the current economic downturn in the country. Now, the council includes notable figures as Africa's richest man Aliko Dangote, chairman of the United Bank for Africa Toli Edumelu. Now, TV 360's Okpeyemi Owoshi has more on the story.
It's a tough time for the Nigerian economy. Inflation is at record level. The local currency continues to lose its value. All of this combined to trigger one of the worst cost of living crises Nigeria has ever dealt with. President Bola Tinubu is now hoping that this Presidential Economic Coordination Council will help his government find a lasting solution to the economic challenges, or at least come up with something that could ameliorate the situation.
We need to work together to include power, oil, and gas, to increase our own grid electricity. We are determined to do that with your cooperation and collaboration and recommendations. As a nation, it's so shameful that we have about 4.5 gigawatts. We must increase our oil production too.
And it is imperative to reaffirm the significance of the July 2023 State of Emergency on food security. Enhancing the emergency response through increased transparency and stakeholder engagement is crucial not only to rebuild public trust in the government's intentions and capabilities, but also rally support and collaboration towards realizing Nigeria's economic potential outlined in the Renewed Hope Agenda.
The council is made up of some of the most successful businessmen in Nigeria. The president is hoping that they will be able to bring their expertise and experience to help his government navigate the country out of the current economic difficulties in the country.
We are going to sit down and advise government the kind of policies that government will roll out. Most of these things, we have them. They've already been discussed over and over. It's just a matter of implementation.
The president spoke about energy crisis, security, energy security. We need to improve power generation in Nigeria so that we can power our businesses and power people to prosperity. And we need to increase our oil production. As the coordinator said, the president's target is 2 million barrels per day. Is it achievable? Yes, but we just need to do what we need to do to get to that level.
Recently, the government announced plans to inject 2 trillion naira in emergency into the economy over the next 6 months to help turn it around. Key ministers and government representatives in the council used the opportunity of the inauguration to shed more light on sectors that will benefit from the emergency funding.
The commitment to providing food at an affordable price and in available quantities is uppermost in Mr. President's mind at this particular time. In addition, the commitment to reducing the losses in the oil sector, in the crude oil sector, and in fact, getting crude oil production and sales up to 2 million barrels a day was another target, another commitment that was made today as one of the measures that can assist the whole society by providing not just additional revenue, but additional foreign exchange liquidity to the economy.
This is a government of dialogue with the private sector. Their input matters, their support matters, and we are encouraged that they support the macroeconomic reforms that are being undertaken, even while cautioning that we need to do more.
The 31-member council comprises prominent figures such as the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas, Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, 12 ministers, and the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso. Okpayemi Owusheni, TV360 News, Lagos.
A few days ago, heavy rainfall in Lagos State led to widespread flooding, leaving commuters stranded and disrupting daily activities across the state. In response to the extensive impact, the federal government has initiated drainage clearing effort on all federal roads in the state to mitigate future floodings. Now, I visited one of the affected areas and spoke with local residents to understand how the severe flooding has impacted their businesses. I'm here at the Ladikwa Osho, the bus stop, where just few days ago, heavy rainfalls caused significant flooding, impacting bus activities and daily activities of the residents. However, today, as you can see behind me, bus activities are fully in swing and market activities have started. I'm now here to speak with bus drivers and passengers to ask how the rainy season has affected their daily activities and how they plan to cope when the remainder of the raining season. Just a few days ago, this dry land and bustling bus stop were submerged underwater, severely limiting movement and causing bus drivers to experience low sales. Many drivers reported that this was the first time they had experienced such a significant amount of water in the area. They noted that while they often take it upon themselves to repair the roads, events like this flood cause substantial damage that they cannot easily manage.
Over 30 years, we never see the kind of rain that fall that very day, because definitely it shut business down completely, because no motor operates here from morning till 6 o'clock.
You can see this place now. It's done by the drivers. They seal that place, they seal that place, they seal that place. But water now do what? Why do we do it? Just to enable free flow of vehicles in this area.
The drivers believe the blocked drains contributed significantly to the flooding. Now, despite recognizing the government's efforts to clear the drains, they emphasize the civilians share the blame for disposing of trash and refuse into the waterways.
Largely it's the civilians, but then the government has to do one or two things, because probably the gutters are blocked and they need to open it.
Maybe they throw dirty from other, bags of everything from far away, and those ones will be flowing down. Once it gets to that place, it will choke up. There will no way to flow away. See, and if they could advise those people doing that, they should stop it.
Passengers also shared their experience, saying that the rain had a detrimental impact on their daily commutes. They echoed the drivers' sentiments, calling on both the government to enhance its effort and civilians to be more responsible with waste disposal.
The rain hindered me and I was home because the rain was too much and the roads I was supposed to pass was filled with water and not even ordinary waters. The waters were too much that even vehicles, tricycles and other things, they couldn't pass. So if vehicles couldn't pass, who are we that we are trekking? We also cannot pass. So the rain really hindered me and my working activities.
It's about we again. we the citizen, we cause some of this drainage. One, pouring dirt inside the gutter and everything, blocking those drainage are part of it also. And the government also, they have to find a way to, to throw every gutter and all of that.
Today at the Osho de Ladipo bus stop, we've witnessed firsthand how this community has swiftly recovered from the recent flooding. Now, despite the recent flooding, the bus drivers and the market sellers, including passengers, have resumed their daily activities with resilience and determination. Now, as we move further into the rainy season, their hopes remain high for continued support and proactive measures to mitigate the effects of future floods. Tamilore Akinkolia, TV360, Lagos. While Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has urged both the federal and state governments to be on the same page on waterways. Sanwo-Olu spoke during the working visit and courtesy visit of the Senate Committee on Marine Transportation and Blue Economy led by its chairman, Senator Wasiu Eshilo-Kunsani at Lagos House Ikeja on Thursday. He said the Lagos State government will continue to improve and enhance its working relationship with the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA. He added that the Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure Development was set up by the Lagos State government to put in place the right and needed infrastructure around waterways in the state, and therefore urged NIWA to be on the same page with the state government.
Recently, about a month ago, we launched additional 15 ferries, 15 ferry passenger boats, about 40 passenger each, brand new, for water transportation. NIWA were represented, and currently the boats were fabricated and completed here in Lagos. And so it's a backward local integration, and we're happy that we've seen that we can produce the kind of transportation boats here. And so the phase one of it, we've launched it and we've handed it over to the operators, for him to ease water transportation. On another dimension, which we mentioned also, Tiniwa, you will see, we've just did groundbreaking for two iconic projects that will be by the waterfront. The Lagos Marina interchange. It is an interchange that would harbor water transportation, rail transportation, and bus rapid transportation.
We are here to look at how NIWA is doing, and then to see area of cooperation with Lagos state government, to see how, because of the recent judgment of the Supreme Court, to see how there will be a very smooth working relationship with Lagos state government without acrimony.
Nigerian leaders and experts have convened to discuss the nation's trajectory towards greatness under a unified progressive agenda in a public lecture held in Abuja on Thursday. Emeka Omera, the convener of the lecture, opened with reflective remarks on his modest beginnings and praised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his visionary leadership over the past year, expressing admiration for the strides the country has made during this period. The former governor of Edo State and current Senator Adams Oshomole outlined the vision for Nigeria's future, addressing critical issues such as accountability in the petroleum sector and the professional regulation of the power industry.
A Nigeria where every young person should have equal opportunity in life, regardless of who their parents are. It is a vision where innovation fuels economic growth. Beyond oil, where technology, agriculture, and tourism drive our prosperity. It is a vision where education is not just a privilege, but a right. With a curriculum that equips our youth with the skills they need for the modern world. As we celebrate these achievements, let us not forget that our work is far from over. We must continue to embolden the bold and encourage the courageous.
Scholars argue that ethnic competition arises mostly where people feel that there's scarcity and that distribution will be skewed against them based on non-legal basis, non-objective. Once people are assured that processes and resource allocation will be based on objective and fair grounds, there will be less resort to ethnicity.
How can we be productive without power? I also believe that going forward, we have to revisit the privatization of the power sector. People who have neither the knowledge, the know-how, nor the competence took over power distribution under the previous government. And the result today is that this is the only market economy where the person who said estimates what he thinks you have consumed, and on that basis give you a bill. I thought the attraction of private sector is that you either sell and survive or you don't and you perish. Here, no power. While you are in the dark, they give you a estimated bill.
And Ondo State Governor Loki Aiyedatiwa has signed a bill into law to increase the number of judges in the state by 11, marking a historic development since the state creation in 1976. The bill, signed on Thursday according to a statement, raises the number of judges from 24 to 35. In his address, Governor Aiyedatiwa said the significance of this legislative move is to enhance the efficiency of the judiciary for better dispensation of justice. The governor also highlighted his administration's dedication to strengthening societal foundations through judicial empowerment, recognizing the judiciary as a pivotal to democracy. We'll take a short break, but still to come, Keir Starmer officially appointed as UK Prime Minister. Details of the story after this break. Welcome back. Now, here's a recap of our top stories. The Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Speaker Victor Okojumbo, has voiced opposition to the Court of Appeal's decision overturning the expulsion of Martin Amowele and 24 others. Initially ruled by the Rivers State High Court, the expulsion was nullified on the grounds that the High Court lacked jurisdiction. Now, Speaker Okojumbo Victor strongly contested this verdict during a recent plenary session, asserting that the Assembly firmly believes the Court of Appeal in its judgment. He announced plans to appeal the decision to the Supreme Court of Nigeria. We also told you that President Bola Tinubu has taken significant steps to stabilize Nigeria's economy by inaugurating the Presidential Economic Coordination Council (PECC), comprising representatives from various sectors. During the inauguration, President Tinubu outlined his accelerated stabilization and advancement plan aimed at injecting 2 trillion naira into the economy over the next 6 months. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, provided details on the allocation of emergency funding, highlighting sectors such as health, agriculture, energy, power as key beneficiaries. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Lime's World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. Let's now join Okpeyemi Owoseni for more stories in the world of business. What's the latest, Okpeyemi?
Well, Tamilore, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced that the state plans to establish a sovereign investment fund for strategic future investment. Governor Sanwo-Olu made the statement during a courtesy visit by the executive management of the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, led by its managing director and CEO Aminu Umar Sadiq at the Lagos House Marina. The governor urged the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority to consider investing in Lagos State government projects, including the Lekki Airport, Rail Film City, and food logistics hub.
We are not, a very high, agricultural producing state because of our land constraint. There are other interventions that we would probably be seeking for if it falls into your mandate, which will be around, low economy and a lot of marine agriculture, and we also, I'm sure you're aware, we're building the biggest logistics hub, in the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. It's a massive construction site for us, and it's part of our own throwback at ensuring we have food security.
NSI continues to ensure that we are operationalizing ourselves to be essentially the asset manager of choice for both the federal and state governments in Nigeria. Any complex, consequential projects that the government wants to undertake, NSI is always the first to put its hand up to come up with solutions in order to aid the execution of these difficult problems, whether it's in roads, whether it's in fertilizer, whether it's in agriculture. The way the NSI has structured itself, the effectiveness of its operations, of its recruiting processes, its transparency and its governance credentials, NSI continues to be that important partner of choice for the government in terms of implementing such complex projects.
Still in the world of business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has said that compressed natural gas is 40% cheaper than premium motor spirit in Nigeria. Managing Director, NNPC Retail Limited, Up Stockman, reviewed this on Thursday while commissioning 12 compressed natural gas stations in Lagos and Abuja to reduce the cost of transportation in the country. Stockman also reviewed that in the next year, NNPC Retail would be launched over 100 CNG sites, including 16 NNPCL gas marketing and NIPCO gas JV sites. The CNG stations feature advanced technology with a combined dispensing capacity of over 6 million standard cubic feet of CNG per day, serving approximately 15,000 vehicles daily. The stations are powered by gas-driven generators and would reduce carbon emissions. We'll go on a break and be back with stock market reports. Nigeria's equities market closed the trading week in red after decreasing by 0.04%. Now, the negative closing revealed trading week was driven by investors who sold consumer goods stock despite bargains in banking, oil and gas, insurance and industrial stocks. Now, topping the laggards, we see the UPDC Real Estate Investment Trust. It came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 10% at 4 naira 50 kobo per share. It was followed closely by Julius Berger. Now, at the end of the last weekday of trading on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, that's the NGX, a total of 412 million volumes of shares were exchanged in 8,551 deals, corresponding to a market value of over 6 billion naira. Now, when compared with the previous NGX day, that's Thursday, July 4th, today's data shows about 52% decline in volume, 52% decline in turnover, but 8% improvement in the deals. Well, for the global market, it's a similar case as well, as our global equities maintain a southward movement to close in the bears, as you can see for the screen behind me. Now, for our foreign exchange market, as red as the naira, which keeps on losing value on the foreign exchange market, the dollar traded at 1,525 naira on the black market, while the Great British pound traded at 1,925 naira on the black market, and the euro traded at 1,620 naira on the black market. Well, that's it on both business and stock market report. Back to you, Tamilore, for the rest of the news.
Thank you, Okwa. Now on the global scene, Britain's head of state, King Charles III, has officially appointed Labour leader Keir Starmer as Prime Minister on Friday during an audience in Buckingham Palace. A photograph released by the palace showed the monarch shaking hands with Starmer, whose party won a landslide election victory. The king earlier accepted the resignation of Conservative leader Rishi Sunak. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Starmer on the victory of his party in the UK general election. The president said that the party's ability to reform, mobilize and position itself for victory after 14 years clearly affirms the leadership qualities of Starmer. And still on the global scene, Hurricane Beryl, a Category 2 storm, made landfall in Mexico's top tourist destination early on Friday, triggering a red alert in the region following its deadly trail of destruction across several Caribbean islands. The storm's course shifted over the Yucatan, with winds slowing to approximately 100 mm per hour at its reached northern eastern region of Tulum. While the storm center moving through Tulum resulted in slower winds and some downed branches, the U.S. National Hurricane Center continues to anticipate dangerous winds, storm surges, and destructive waves in the area of landfall. A hurricane warning has been issued for the coast from Puerto Costa Maya to Cancun, including Cozumel. Mexico's Civil Protection Agency has also issued a red alert, signaling a maximum hazard threat. The agency has advised residents to remain in their homes or seek refuge in storm shelters. And finally, on sport, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has imposed sanctions on the president of the Cameroon Football Association, Samuel Eto'o, for violation of ethics. Disclosing this in a statement on Thursday, CAF said Eto'o was facing charges of alleged manipulation of football matches and violating the principles of ethics and integrity. The disciplinary board found Eto'o to have seriously violated the principles of ethics, integrity, and sportsmanship as provided in Article 2, Paragraph 3 of the CAF statutes by signing a brand ambassador contract with the company One Expert in exchange for remuneration, and consequently fined Eto'o an amount of $200,000. Since he was elected president of Cameroon FA in 2021, Eto'o has been embroiled in controversy. He was caught on tape attacking the cameraman outside the stadium at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar in 2022. The following year, he faced the CAF probe for alleged improper misconduct following complaints from several stakeholders of Cameroonian football. And that wraps up our bulletin on News Now. Many thanks for watching. I'm Tamilore Akinkolie. See you again next time.